What is up, YouTube? Today we have a full body mobility routine for you guys. So we're gonna jump right into this thing and we're gonna start with our ankles. So let's get on the ground and let's go. All right, first body part that we're starting with is our ankle. So let's grab one ankle, let's start with it. You guys are gonna pick it up off the floor, pick that leg up, and we're gonna start by doing a big circle with that ankle. That's all we're doing. So what I want you to start with is pushing that foot straight down as much as you can. You don't wanna be too aggressive with this. Just try to flow through these mobility routines. And then we're gonna go out with that circle, come up, and then in, and then back down. Again, you're trying not to rotate your hip and your knee as you do this. So let's do it together. Down with that foot, rotate that ankle out, then pull it up as high as you can towards that knee. Now rotate it inward without turning that hip, just the ankle, and then back down. Let's try 2 more reps, and then we'll do the opposite direction. All the way in that big circle. Now you can try to push that range of motion a little bit more on every direction. Go nice and slow. It's a little harder than it looks. You got to really kind of concentrate on that ankle and just the ankle, right? Perfect. Move that foot around, and now let's go the opposite way. So let's pull up, start there. Now go out with that foot and ankle, and then down like you're pressing on a gas pedal, in and up. Let's try a couple circles in this direction, and then we'll hit the other foot. Perfect. Again, down, in, up, out. Down, in, up, and out. Perfect. There you go. So we got that left one mobilized a little bit. Now let's go to the right. Let's do the same thing. So we'll start pressing on that gas pedal. We'll go in and then pulling up and make that big circle. So you're gonna wanna move fast here. Really take your time. I love to hold my knee. You guys can continue that rotation. I love to hold my knee in place and my hip with my elbows so nothing else is moving besides my ankle, right? Perfect. That's all we're trying to mobilize. Let's go the opposite direction. Whichever way you guys are going, flip it around the opposite way and just work it. Try to really inch and push those little extra ranges into every portion of that circle, whether it's a little more in, a little more down, and see where you're lacking, and then you could spend more time in those positions if you feel like you can't rotate out or in or down or up. Good, get one more nice rotation, and then we'll bring it up to the knees. And perfect, good. All right, moving up the line here, we're gonna go right to our knee now. So this one's a little tricky. You have to have a lot of mind-body connection to get this one moving. So take your time and really try to focus. I want you to take both your fingers, both your pointers, and you're gonna go right under your kneecap and you're gonna find your tibia bone. It sticks out right in the front of your shin there and it connects right to the bottom of that knee. So you gotta find that tibia bone, each side of it. You're gonna put your heel in the ground like I have here, and you're gonna try to swivel just this tibia bone left and right without moving your hip and without moving your ankle. So if you watch closely, I got my fingers here. This is gonna give me some good feedback on how I'm rotating. So I just rotate that tibia bone into my left finger, and now I'm gonna rotate it back to the right, internal rotation into my right finger. So if you see that tibia, it can swivel internally and externally. Try to get this into your head right now. I know it's a little challenging. Put your fingers there. You can put a couple fingers if that helps a little bit more. And all you're gonna start with is swiveling. So let's go back and forth for a couple seconds here. I'll give you guys a chance to kind of get that mind-body connection down. And it may be a little challenging at first. Don't get frustrated. Take your time and try to find that rotation. Good, I'll give you a couple more seconds and then we're gonna add a little bit of movement to this. Good, there we go. And perfect. Now, we're gonna try to add flexion and extension with our knee. So if you watch me, I'm going to externally rotate the tibia, okay? Now I'm going to extend out with my leg, and then I'm gonna rotate back internally with that tibia, and then I'm gonna pull back in with that heel, okay? So it's one big circle again, almost like the ankle. So we're gonna external rotation, extend out. Internal rotation, flex back in. External, extend, internal, flex. Good. Now let's go the opposite direction, just like we did the ankle. So let's start internally, extend out, and then external as you're in that long extended position and pull back. Internal, extend, external, flex. One more time. If you're struggling, just do the swivels back and forth with that tibia. Perfect. Now let's do the right side. Now, sometimes it helps when you do the opposite side right off the bat and you can see which one has a better mind-body connection. So if you feel better on this next leg, go back to the other one after and try to get a couple more reps and you'll probably have a better feel. So again, find that tibia, use your fingers, 1 or 2, and let's start with those swivels back and forth, internal, external rotation. Now, if you're getting a good feel for this, start to notice little things. Are you better on one side than the other? Can you get more range of motion externally or more internally, right? These are both very important for your squats, your deadlifts, your split squats. Sometimes with your ankle mobility, this can affect hip mobility all the way up the line, which we'll check out in a little bit. So get a couple of these swivels in, see, explore some ranges of motion, whatever you can handle. And now let's work that flexion and extension with the legs. So let's externally rotate, extend that leg out. Internally rotate, come back in. As you guys are doing this, again, keep your hands planted onto your thigh here, the inside part of your leg and the outside part of your leg, so you don't open the knee back and forth and open the hip and swivel here. You just want to move that tibia bone. It's all of that mind-body connection that gets very challenging. Perfect, last one coming in. Now let's go the opposite way. So open, internal rotation, then you're going to extend out, rotate back out, and pull back in. Get a couple reps with this direction. Internal, extend, external, flex. Internal, extend, external, flex, and perfect. There we go. Next movement, we're gonna be mobilizing our spine. We're gonna be working it through flexion and extension. We're gonna be doing a cat-cow. So I want you guys to start in your extended position, chest up tall. Now when we do this, it's gonna be very specific, more mind-body connection. We're trying to connect our mind to our lowest portion of our spine we can handle. And watch me before you start. You're gonna wanna start rounding your lower back and climbing one vertebrae at a time as best you can as you flex that spine. Make sure you're rounding it, right? Flex all the way down, and then we're gonna go back the opposite way. So watch my lower back. We're gonna start from the lower back, start there by extending, and then coming all the way back up through that spinal extension, one vertebrae at a time, lifting that head at the end. So let's get a couple reps. Start from your lower back, try to find the lowest position you can handle, and then start to round that back and get into flexion. Big round in your shoulder blades, upper back, and then coming back the other way. Extend that lower half and climb. Take your time. Let's get a few reps in here now, and let's control ourselves all the way through this position. Let's get a little bit of movement. Climb all the way through that cat-cow. Drop that head down at the end if you feel comfortable there. And again, extend from the bottom, climb all the way up. Let's try a few more reps. Go a little slower. Get a little bit more specific now. Really try to find that lower part of that back as you flex and extend each time. Good, now just a little bit extra here. I just want you to move that lower back. So you're gonna start with your lower back again, just like we did, but all we're gonna work is that lower half. So we're gonna climb a little bit, I'm gonna flex my spine a little, and then I'm gonna go back the opposite way and extend a little bit. Good, so if you watch just my lower back, that's all I'm moving. These are great to mobilize in the morning or right before your workout. If you're gonna deadlift or you're gonna squat, you're gonna do anything that involves a lot of lower back movement. These are awesome if you're feeling a little bit of back pain or tension. Just get that back and that lower portion of your spine, flexing and extending. Try a couple more reps. Really try to put your mind to that lower portion of your spine. Get a couple more in 3, 2, 1. And good, let's get to the hips now. Okay, moving into the hips now. Grab something to hold on to. I have a mobility stick that I'm using, but you can grab onto a rack, onto a door frame, something to hold on to so you don't turn and twist your body. We just wanna move that hip. So let's start with the right leg. You guys are gonna start with external rotation of the hip. You're trying to pull that inside part of your foot as high as you can to your face as you flex your hip. So this is the start of your hip mobility. Now, we're gonna slowly open that hip, and as we open, we're gonna get into internal rotation, which is usually the harder portion of these hip CARs without tilting our spine. So use that pole, use your door frame, whatever you're holding onto, and internally rotate that hip and swing it around. Now, your legs should be lined up with your back leg right here, and we're gonna start with extension. You're gonna kick your leg backwards, just like that, and then we're gonna bring it back to where we started. So I extend my hip back, and then you're going to come back up and across back into external rotation where we started. So let's try a couple reps. Again, external rotation to start. You open, give me internal rotation. You're gonna feel a little bit of that tilting. Try your best not to. Swing it around and then reverse it. Extend back, lift back up, back to external. Let's try one more rep on this side, then we'll switch it. External, open, internal rotation, back around, extend, up, back across. Perfect. Let's do that left side. Now that you got a feel for the right, let's try to do the same exact thing on that left. So again, get that pole in the ground hard, get that body straight as you can, and just move your hip without trying to move any of your spine or back. So we're opening, internal rotation. That's always my struggle, as you can see. Extend, lift back up, get back across, external rotation. Again, external, really try to turn that hip as much as you can. Start to slowly open. Don't internally rotate too early or you're gonna drop. Open a lot first, now internal rotation, and then back, reverse it. Extend, lift up all through that internal position, back to external. One more time. All the way through that hip car, nice and smooth. You wanna think about really gliding through your joints. If it feels choppy and chunky and chippy, you guys wanna slow this down a little bit and do these a little more often. Okay, we're gonna be going back to the spine here. So the only difference with this compared to the cat-cows we did earlier is we're gonna add rotation to this in our spine. So I want you guys to cross your arms over your chest like this. And we're gonna start like we did with the cat-cow, but we're going to start with flexion of our spine. So I want you to open your feet up a little wider so you keep your base. You're gonna flex that spine without pushing your butt backwards. Just think about rounding your back here. So as you see me, I'm rounding my spine. I'm not just pushing my butt back and falling forward. I'm trying to pull my belly button in and round as much as I can. Now from here, this is where we add rotation. You're gonna rotate to your right. So I'm gonna rotate to you guys in that flexed position, and I'm gonna try to turn as much as I can, again, without shooting my hips backwards. From here, we're gonna extend it. We're gonna start to tilt our shoulder, our right shoulder, over our back and extend your spine. So you're basically arching your back here. Don't push the hips forward and jut them out. Start to roll that spine all the way around in extension, and then you're gonna find yourself straight up looking at the ceiling, and then you're gonna rotate to the left. Rotate to the left, and we'll come back down into flexion where we started. Perfect. So now we're just gonna go the opposite way. So let's keep that flexion position we have, rotate to the left, try to get your eyes to whatever wall you have to your left, and then tilt that left shoulder over that spine and extend. Nice and slow. Try to find positions you can handle and climb through. Rotate to the right, and then back down to center. Perfect. Let's do one more each way, and let's just try to find some new ranges of motion as we glide through it. So flexion, good, nice and smooth. Rotation to the right, tilt that right shoulder over your back, extend your spine, not pushing those hips too far forward. Rotate to the left, tuck back down into flexion, and perfect. One more to the left now. Rotate to that left side. Bring that left shoulder over that back, extend your spine, feel that extension. Rotate to the right, back down into flexion, and breathe and relax. Perfect. All right, we're getting into our shoulder now. So we're gonna need something to hold on to again. If you have something, grab onto it, get yourself nice and centered. We're gonna start with our right arm. We're gonna start by opening it up. We're going to externally rotate that arm, and now let's bring it through its full range of motion. So you're gonna bring that arm across your chest, keeping that elbow as straight as you can. You're going to cross your face and bring that arm as high as you can overhead. This is your flexion of the shoulder, trying to reach up as high as you can. And now you're going to rotate internally with that shoulder and try to reach behind you nice and slow. As you notice, I'm not turning my body, right? Just moving the shoulder. Now my hand is on the side of my leg. I'm gonna extend backwards behind me and reverse the motion. So as I start to bring it up, I'm now externally rotating that shoulder, bringing it back overhead to where we started, and then back across the chest. Perfect. Let's get a couple more reps in, a little smoother, a little faster. Open it up nice and straight across that chest. Reach high up into flexion overhead, rotate that shoulder internally all the way behind, and then reverse it. Extend that shoulder, externally rotate, back across the chest. Try one more time. The most range of motion you can handle. You don't have to kill it. Just try to slowly glide through that range of motion. Get that shoulder moving well, and then reverse, extend, reach back up overhead, and back across that body. Perfect, there we go. Got that shoulder moving, and now let's do that left side. So let's switch, left arm, across that chest, reach up nice and high. Notice differences from one side to the other. My left side has always been a little bit of an issue for me, so sometimes when I reach overhead, it always feels a little more sticky than the right side, so I spend more time on my left, right? So same thing for you guys. If you feel like the left side or right side's a little worse, add 2 or 3 extra reps to this mobility routine that you can do daily whenever you want to. Pick and choose parts of this depending on what you're doing throughout your routines, your workout routines, your daily routines. You don't have to do the entire thing. If you just want to mobilize those shoulders, just mobilize the shoulders. Good job there. Let's move on to the neck and we'll finish it up. Okay, last joint we're going to mobilize is our neck, one of the most important ones. So this is just like the spinal car that we did when we were standing. It's going to be flexion, rotation, and extension with our neck. So let's do this together. We're going to start by flexing our neck down, bringing your chin to your chest. So bring that chin down, and then from there you're going to pick a direction. We're going to start with our left side. I want you to rotate just your head and neck to the left. You're not tilting and side bending, you're rotating, trying to get your eyes to the wall to your left. And now from here, just like you did your back and spine, you're going to extend by tilting your ear over the shoulder and rolling that neck in extension all the way behind you, nice and slow. And then you're going to find yourself in rotation to the right, and then we go back down into flexion right on that chest. So now let's do the opposite direction. Again, chin down, flex, rotate to the right, ear behind the shoulder. Try not to let your chest or back extend with you. Just work the neck. Slowly roll through the back part of this position. You don't want to fly through this. You can easily just kind of tilt into some bad positions here. Take your time. Rotate to the left, back down to center. Let's do it one more time each way. So flexion down. I'm rotating to you towards the left. Take that ear over that shoulder, extend back. Again, I'm not reaching back here. I'm just rolling that neck nice and slow. We'll rotate to the right and then back down into flexion. One more time to that right side. Flex, rotate, extend nice and slow as you bring that ear behind the shoulder. Take your time, like I said earlier, on that extension. Back down to center, and perfect. And that is it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that mobility routine. Again, you don't have to do every single body part, but pick and choose based on what you guys are gonna be doing for the day, or maybe something that you really wanna work on. Maybe your lower back is always tight and creaky. Maybe it's your knees, maybe it's your ankles. Pick and choose based on your body, right? Something that you need to work on. Again, doesn't hurt to do every single one. Get those joints feeling good, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Great job today.